Stop. Just stop for a moment. Pause everything. Take a deep breath. I know you feel weak right now, like you're barely holding it together. Like one more thing will shatter you completely. Like you've been through so much that there's nothing left. And maybe you've been thinking, I used to be stronger. I used to be able to handle things. What happened to me? But I need to tell you something that will change how you see yourself. You're not weak. You're scar tissue. And that's the strongest part of you. Let me tell you what you're actually feeling. You feel weak because you've been broken. Maybe more than once. Maybe in ways that no one else can see. Maybe it was betrayal. Maybe it was loss. Maybe it was trauma that no one warned you about. Maybe it was just life. Relentless, exhausting, brutal. And when you broke, you felt it. Deep, like something inside you tore apart. Would never be the same again. And now, when you look at yourself, you see the place where you broke. And you think, that's my weakness. That's where I'm damaged. That's the part of me that will always be fragile. But here's what you don't realize. That's not your weakness. That's where you're strongest. Let me show you what I mean. When your skin breaks, a cut, a wound, an injury, your body goes into emergency mode. It sends everything it has to that spot. Collagen, fibrin, platelets, all the resources your body can muster, and it starts to rebuild, layer by layer, cell by cell. But here's the thing, it doesn't rebuild the same. Regular skin tissue is organized loosely. It's flexible, it's soft, it moves with you. But scar tissue is dense, tight. The fibers are packed together, aligned, reinforced. Scar tissue is stronger than the tissue it replaced. Scientists have proven this many times. Scar tissue can withstand more tension, more pressure, more force. It's your body's way of saying, you broke here once, you will not break here again. And that's you. The places where you broke, the heartbreaks, the traumas, the moments you thought would destroy you, those are your scar tissue now. And they're the strongest parts of you. Now, let me tell you why you feel weak, even though you're not. You feel weak because you remember what it was like before you broke. You remember when things were easy, when you felt invisible, when you didn't have to carry the weight of everything you've survived. And now you're different. You're more careful, more guarded, more aware of how easily things can fall apart. And you think that's weakness. But it's not. That's wisdom. That's survival. That's strength in a different form. See, the version of you before you broke, that version was strong because it hadn't been tested. But you've been tested. You've been broken. And you've rebuilt yourself from the inside out. And that's not weakness. That's scar tissue. And here's what you need to understand. Scar tissue doesn't feel the same as regular tissue. It's tighter, it's less flexible. Sometimes it aches. Sometimes it reminds you of what happened. And you think that means you're damaged. But what it actually means is this: you're fortified. So let me tell you who you actually are right now. You're not weak. You're not broken. You're not damaged goods. You're someone who's been torn apart and rebuilt, stronger. The betrayal that shattered your trust, that's scar tissue now. You'll never be naive again. You'll be discerning. The loss that broke your heart, that's scar tissue now. You'll never take love for granted again. You'll cherish it much deeper. The trauma that fractured your sense of safety, that's scar tissue now. You'll never be reckless again. You'll be much more intentional. You didn't just survive those things. You became stronger because of them. And I know it doesn't feel like strength. I know it feels like you're barely holding on. I know it feels like one more hit will destroy you. But here's the truth. The places where you broke are now the places that can't be broken. You built scar tissue there, dense, reinforced, unbreakable. That's not weakness. That's growth. That's evolution. So here's what I need you to do. Stop looking at the places where you broke and calling them weakness. Stop thinking you're damaged. Stop thinking you're less than you were. Start seeing yourself for what you actually are. You're scar tissue. You're not the same person you were before you broke. And that's not a bad thing. You're denser, stronger, much more resilient, much more aware. You carry the evidence of survival on your body, in your mind, in your heart. And if you need to remind yourself, if you need to reclaim your strength right now, leave a comment down below. Just 3 words. I am scar tissue. Say it out loud. Write it down. Claim it. Because when you stop seeing yourself as broken and start seeing yourself as rebuilt, everything changes. Because you're not weak. You're not fragile. You're not damaged. You're scar tissue. And that's the strongest part of you. You broke. And then you healed. You became unbreakable, where you were most vulnerable. And that is strength in its truest form.